Welcome guys, episode ULTRAKILL. So I P-ranked entirely a fraud, so I'm gonna make a review about it because I am an absolute casual. Anyhow, so fraud, overall, my first impression of fraud was actually pretty well received. Actually, I actually really loved fraud. Okay, the design, the level design is amazing. I'll probably go into way more detail on what I loved and stuff throughout the video, but like seriously, fraud is an amazing layer, and the amount of lore drops and the level designs and the enemies is just good, man. It's so peak. We are so back. Okay, all right, all the wait time was worth it and everything. Okay, it's amazing, but P-ranking fraud was not that amazing. Excluding for 8-1, 8-2, and probably 8-4. 8-3 was a nightmare to P-rank. And now talking about the level design, I really love the level design and aesthetics of fraud. Okay, it is such an impressive feat from Hakita and his crew to make this level so aesthetically pleasing. Albeit it's even more pleasing than the entirety of like Heresy, Violent, everything in general. Honestly, like P-2 has nothing on this. I mean, I may be a bit exaggerating, but yeah, who cares? It's the most aesthetically pleasing thing I've ever seen, and it's just such a good, like, the level design that I am impressed. Okay, I am extremely impressed, even though I'm not professional. This is just simply so amazing. Okay, I have to give props to Hakita and his crew, Hakita and his team and everything. It's just so peak. Okay, it's just so peak, and it doesn't help with the fact that the rotations. Typically, a lot of people would probably say some, I guess. I'm not sure if everybody agrees with this take, or they disagree with it. I'm not sure. But like the rotating rooms makes it look more pleasing. It looks better with rotating non-Euclidean rooms. It's just 10 times better that way. Okay, like seriously, like I don't know how to say this. I can't word it. It's so peak that I cannot say the necessary words to compliment it. That's how you know it's peak. Okay, I cannot English my way out of this. And now talking more about the level designs, because you know apparently I should probably talk more about that. Anyhow, so the level designs is just overall, as I said, really great. But I think one of my favorite parts about the level designs is that especially I think in 8-1. 8-1 is the best level design overall. I think I compliment enough. Okay, there's nothing. All you need to know, I love it. I extremely love it. Okay, it's so amazing. It's so cool. Everything about it is just great. I know some people would disagree, but I don't care. It's just so amazing, man. I'm glazing it to the day I die, unless Treachery comes out and makes it look even 10 times better, which is I don't think Hakita can do, man. I don't think Hakita can do that. There's no way in hell, or no way in anywhere can Hakita even like replicate how aesthetically pleasing fraud was. Okay, it is such a good layer to look at. Like it is such an amazing layer. Anyhow, so talking about the level designs, I think I should talk about the enemy placements and the enemies themselves. I say I mean, it's expected from ULTRAKILL, but like it's fine for like the first layer because you know, you haven't met with the majority of the rest of the new enemies, so you're kind of like about it, you know. But seriously, like genuinely, it's alright, I guess. But when like the Death Catcher comes in and gets introduced, that's when the enemy thing just gets way more interesting. The enemy placements just gets more interesting after like the Death Catcher, which is something I'm actually intrigued about. And the Death Catchers are one of the best mechanics Hakita has added, with the addition of fraud, of course. Of course, talking about more about level designs, I should probably talk about like the twists, which happens like twice, and I'm failing the parry. I am so good at this game. This Lolygon, low polygon. I don't know why I said Lolygon. I think I mixed up polygon with low polygon. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe fraud is so peak it makes me forget about English. Before moving on to the next part, I would like to say the level plot twist at the end is just amazing. I love it. That's all you need to know. It's just amazing. I like you guys to like know about it. I won't tell you where it starts, where it happens. I want to tell you which level because of spoilers. I really want you guys to play Fraud and experience it yourself, even though it's like 1 week after it got released. So I assume majority of you guys will probably play it by now. So yeah. So next is talking about the music, which of course with ULTRAKILL standards, it's still peak. I gotta admit, it's like the most, it's like the best, one of the best music I've heard in a layer, of course, but not as good as War Without Reason. Honestly, I think some of the ULTRAKILL musics are soundtracks. I don't know what to call it music. I completely forgot that soundtracks existed as a word apparently. But if I were to say Fraud music, it was a 5 out of 10. Not really. I think 5 out of 10 is a disingenuous grade. I think it's an 8 out of 10 or to a 9 out of 10, but like it's not one of my favorites, you know. Not my top like favorite 8 out of 10s. Okay, if I were to say my favorite, I would just probably say Altars of Apostasy or something like Duel, like the basic bunch, you know. Yeah, you know. Anyhow, so other than music, what else? Oh yeah, the enemies. The newer enemies are like amazing, good, I guess. The Providence is a good, nice thing. I love its new mechanic. After death, you can heal your entire health bar, even the hard damage. I love that. It is a good idea. And like another ankle hook is also a pretty good idea. I'll commend Hakita for that. And the death catches are like definitely the highlights for me because like it adds a new element. Okay, I don't know which one I prefer, the idol or the death catches. But I think if like without the box containers, I do believe the idols are better. But with the box, I think the death catches are way more better because the idols just make things invincible. The death catches immediately add like another toll to your enemy count, which is just really good, I'll admit. Talking about more about the enemies, the powers, I'm iffy about it. They're difficult, but like not too difficult if you know my gist. They're like easily the most parable enemies. They're not really the most difficult bunch to deal with, you know. I'm split. Okay, I'm split between saying like they're enemies or too difficult enemies. I'm not sure, honestly. I need you guys can put your own opinions, but I'm like with them. I say that like they're fine addition, but then like they're more like on the lore side. Okay, I don't feel like they add anything else other than, well, just more fodder for me to kill. Unlike the death catches and the Providence, they're more of the lackluster of the entire enemy system, to be exact. Alright, this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler territory. I would recommend skipping this, but if you're staying still, then you have been warned. This is gonna be spoilers. So yeah. Anyhow, so talking about some of the layers. The first layer, 8-1, I won't be saying its name because I forgot about it. Anyhow, so 8-1, one of the things I really love about it is not the Providence. The Providence, I guess. I already expected it. But one of the things I love about 8-1 is the plot twist. Like, before you end off the level, the hell just summons you to another dimension, and it's just amazing. And that part is like one of the better parts. The first half is like, okay. It's like the normal ULTRAKILL playthrough, but like the last part is where peak really truly starts, alright? And also one thing I really love about it is the lore stuff that you gain. And that's one of the things I really like about Fraud. It's like more lores, like the Archangel lore, the reveal of God, and like the reveal of more Archangels. It's just so much lore, okay? Fraud genuinely gave us a lot of lore for like heaven itself, which is I highly appreciate. which is one of the things I love. But one things I kinda don't like is like the first half being pretty I guess, which you know, it's bad that the first half is okay at best, but it's still entertaining nonetheless. It's just that the second half is way more entertaining. Believe me, it's 10 times way more entertaining than the first half. Now moving on to 8-2, I think 8-2 is a solid layer with like the rotating rooms and stuff. Not rotating rooms, like the rooms being like different gravity and everything. Like I would say like it's a okay layer, but like just not really my cup of tea, you know. I don't think 8-2 is a bad layer, but it's still alright, I guess. It's still alright. Though I would say the Mirror Reaper is a bit of a down. The down, he's a bum, okay? He sucks as a boss fight. Not that it's difficult, but it's just that he dies so quickly that you might as well just be non-existent at this point. But the lore review about it is also okay, I guess. To be exact, I guess the lore review about humanity's AI UI system is cool, but I don't think we needed to learn about it. And 8-2 does have some jump scares, which I do appreciate, and the tone and the way 8-2 feels is on the nose immediately. I would compliment that. But if I were to criticize, it's probably a layer in my opinion. It's not really the stronger layers. Stronger levels, but it's still there. It's still pretty good. Better than most layers, but not as good in Fraud, you know. And I'll talk about the rest two of the levels. 8-3, strong, solid level. One of the best levels in ULTRAKILL, definitely. But there are some things holding it back, which I'll be talking about later. One of the things I love is the terminal velocity, level designs, you know, yada yada. Like the same things I would compliment. But also like a plot twist at the end. But it's not as strong as 8-1 to be exact, because you kind of expect it. To be frank, the surprising part is that you're in space. V1 is in space, which is a bit awkward because I don't think it's space, but at the same time it is space. So yeah, and I think I would say the level difficulty is really nice. The length is fine, I guess. I'll be all blunt about it. It's fine. I don't think it's that bad of a length, but it could be shortened down. But knowing Akira, this is probably a pretty good length, which is fine in my opinion, because this is a send-off, and it's a really fucking good send-off. Okay, it's a extremely well done send-off to the normal layers, and I give props to Akira. Amazing layer, amazing design, amazing ideas, amazing execution, everything's good. But here comes the issues. One, the performance issues, and the overall bugs are really holding it back, honestly. Anyhow, so I think that's really about it. 8-3 is an amazing layer. It's the peak layer, but the only thing holding it back is just, you guessed it, the bugs and issues. That's really about it. And 8-4, it's a boss fight. Definitely not as strong as the Earth Mover is, I would say. And also it's better than the Leviathan, which is obviously my least favorite boss fight overall, because like it's so boring. Okay, it's just bad. Even after rework, I don't think it's still a good boss fight. It's just a terrible boss fight. And with like the attack patterns, everything is amazing. The new mechanic of free fall is amazing as well, and I love it a bit. Even though it took a bit for me to get used to the mechanics. And one thing to criticize, I would say, is probably the lack of a phase 2. Just the lack of a phase 2 just kinda makes this boss a bit boring for some people, which I do agree. There should be a phase 2, honestly. And the phase 2 should have been added, but I think Hakita would probably add it after Fraud's patches and stuff. I just hope he adds it, okay? I hope he adds another phase for Gurion, because that'll be pretty awesome and a nice addition, and would definitely make the boss way more better, in my opinion. Alright, this is a non-spoiler part. Anyhow, so overall, I think Fraud, as I said, is a peak layer, but there is certain things that's holding it back from being the peak layer, if you know what I mean. Which is just the performance issues, the bugs, just everything in general. And overall, it's a good layer. Of course, as I said before, the performance issues does hold it back, which hopefully it just gets fixed like around a few months by now. And the good news is that currently Hakita and his crew and some developers are working on it, so we should be expecting some bug fixes and some patches here and there. Overall, Fraud is just an amazing layer, peak layer. Props to Hakita and his crew. I love it. We all love it. But P ranking it was kind of a nightmare, which I'll cover it in another video, hopefully. So I guess it's time for the outro. And my throat is in pain. Anyhow, on to the outro now. And honestly, my thoughts on Fraud is it's still peak. It's still amazing. It is just great layer overall. Peak layer. The only thing holding it back is just the performance issues and the bugs and everything. That's the only thing that's holding it back, honestly. And hopefully it gets fixed fast. And overall, I just love the layer. Props to Akira and his crew, everybody that worked on it. You guys are amazing. I love the work, and hopefully you guys continue creating more of these type of games. And just I hope that this entire issue gets fixed. The bugs, the performance issues, and everything just, you know, gets fixed, as I said. But also, like, I hopefully that Treachery is even more better than Fraud itself. But obviously, it's gonna be more better than Fraud. Obviously. Why would I not expect, honestly? Anyhow, that's really about it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I didn't talk about everything I enjoyed about Fraud and everything, but it's really general. Honestly, I don't have any other thoughts, because it's such a great layer that I don't have any other issues with it. I know some people have, but I don't. You know, I don't really mind some of the parts about Fraud, which people have issues with. I genuinely love those parts of Fraud, to be exact. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. If you didn't, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.